What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 509. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez,
Sup, people? How's it going?
Carlos Romero,
Yo, yo, yo.
Richard Bailey Jr.,
What's up, everybody?
Brett Murdoch,
Yo, ever get that spooky deja vu feeling?
Brian Manjoma,
What's up? What's up?
and joining us once again by popular demand, Mr. Adam Vale.
On the duty.
Oh man, well, we're back with another one. Adam came back from trick-or-treating. Hopefully the kids aren't too wired up.
Yeah, no, they got all their candy, but yeah, they'll eat it over the weekend. Can't do that, especially on a school night.
There you go, man. So Adam, how you been, brother?
Good, man. Just living life, doing all my same old. Still playing games and doing stuff and covering The Walking Dead. And then just doing good. So far, so good. So that's it. Hopefully everybody else is doing okay, doing all right.
Yeah, man, you already know. By the way, interesting thing here. Manny and I are actually in the same place, like my crib. So if you hear some weirdness with the microphone, just bear with us, because if for example, if Manny doesn't mute himself, you're going to hear me and vice versa. So just bear with us. But good times are had by all. And Chris will be here soon. Again, he went trick-or-treating with Olivia, a little girl, and she's all hopped up on fucking candy right now. So she ain't going to sleep anytime soon.
That sugar rush.
But yeah, man. So tonight we don't have a lot of topics, but topics we have are spicy and full of content. So we're gonna get into it. Adam, I'm gonna start with you, brother. A certain game came out, an indie game came out.
Oh, indie, yeah, there's a lot of little indie games, little shooters, right?
Yeah, little shooters, about calling of duty and all that. Obviously Black Ops came out, and Adam, like half the Discord, our fans are playing this fucking game.
Now I'm curious: are they playing it because they're fans and have played it every year, or are they playing it because it's on Game Pass and it's in their face and free?
Ooh, that's a good question. All right, so if you're in the chat right now and you're playing the Blops, let us know if you're playing it because you've been a fan or because it's on Game Pass.
It's part of your service, and you might as well play it because everybody else is playing it, and you got no reason not to play it because it's part of your service.
Yeah. So
you want to get your money's worth.
Yeah, there's a bunch of little stories I want to get to, but before all that, Adam, I want to hear your take, bro. What do you think about the game?
I really like this one, and people are like, oh, of course you're gonna say he liked it, which isn't always true because there's a lot of other ones I don't like. I did not like the last Call of Duty, the Modern Warfare 3, because we all knew that was a half-ass version of it. It was just really an upgrade, and to get out of the whole Sony license for marketing and all that, they were like, we'll label it as a main title and push it out. Now this Richard Bailey Jr. and myself both liked like the previous one, which was Cold Wars, and that's what this is. This is a continuation of that story, and I did that review. I love that game because that had a really good campaign that had dialogue choices, a mission select, so you didn't have the same linear path. You could just pick what you want. Bunch of Easter eggs, bunch of other little options and things to find and explore. There was a lot going on in that one, and that one is back in this, and it's all there. And so yeah, I'm really enjoying it. The campaign is awesome. Not crazy about zombies, but I was never really that big of a zombie head when it got complicated. Like I don't know if anyone else on this panel has played zombies, but zombies is probably the most complicated part of Call of Duty, because you got it's gobblegums. You got to get your gobblegums to get your health up, and you have to upgrade your weapons as you're completing the waves. There's one of the maps has 256 waves max, and I know this only because some fools already did that and maxed out. It's crazy that people putting that much time, because think of it like a horde mode. And to say that you're putting 256 waves, I think they said it was like over 12 hours of straight playing to get this done. People fanatics. And it's just a lot to do, and there's traps, and you have to run around. It's a lot of planning for zombies. What used to be kill a bunch of zombies, get your points, open up a gate, get some weapons on the wall, and just have a good old time. No, you can't do that. Can't do that. Serious shit. Multiplayer is solid. It's Call of Duty. They got that Omni movement, which is kind of cool. You know, you get to move around a little bit different. There is a learning curve to that. You can't really just. It's hard to explain, but it doesn't. It feels like Call of Duty multiplayer of old, but it doesn't. It feels like it's been tweaked. Your guy moves a little more. When you go to stop, he doesn't really just stop on a dime. He sort of like shimmies, like, oh, hold on, sort of like a real person would. Yeah, it's good. It's Call of Duty. The one thing that's bothering me the most is just all these microtransactions. I mean, there's so much. Just buy this, buy that. It's constantly throwing in your face the new operator packs, you know, character skins or whatever. It's just buy this another one, and they're not cheap. $20 a pop. You know, and then zombies, and that's its own separate microtransaction stuff. Hey, buy this, buy that. Granted, you don't have to buy it, but they throw it in your face constantly, and it's just annoying. But overall, you know, it's Call of Duty. You know, you get some of your buddies together. Me and my buddy, we jumped into zombies, and we had some fun. You know, I'm disappointed that the Black Ops series from Black Ops 3 was the last one that had 4-player campaign co-op. They haven't brought that back. This one would have been a perfect 5 out of 5 if they would have brought in campaign co-op, because they're like, oh, Call of Duty, this is what the bro gamers, right? You play with your bros, do this. Well, you can't do that with the campaign, which is weird because in the campaign, you're always with other people, another NPC character. So why can't that be replaced by, you know, my boy over here, Timmy? So I'm enjoying it. I'm glad that it's hitting that peak of success. Especially now, out of all times, I saw all the reports. I saw Paris did a whole live thing going on Twitter. It was like, jump in. What do you think? Is this going to save Game Pass? And I'm like, no, it's not. Because it's not for everybody. That's like saying if you put Madden on Game Pass day one, yeah, you're going to get the football heads, but that's pretty much it. You're not really going to get everybody. And it's the same thing with this. It's a shooter. Whether people like it or not, shooting games get somewhat of a bad rap in a way when it comes to certain groups. You know, people anti-gun and stuff. There's some advocates that think that all the gun violence in America is a tribute to shooter games like Call of Duty. You know, brainwashing the young to get into the mindset of using a weapon. So it's not for everybody. So I don't see it as a savior, but I see it as the mainstay. I could see people who do jump into this and maybe have their other friends that are really into Call of Duty. I was like, well, I never buy it. You know, I always feel like I'm out of the loop with my buddies of jumping around and playing with, whether from high school, college, whatever it is. But now that it's part of the system, the part of the service, I should say, then yeah, it makes kind of sense of just keep it around because it's all year round. For those who know Call of Duty, they have their battle passes, they have their seasonal events. I mean, there's always stuff going. It's not like, oh, we dropped it, now goodbye. We'll work on the next one, enjoy. They're always adding stuff. So I can see people sticking with it or just jumping back in because their buddies want to play and not feeling that guilt of, wow, I spent $70 for a game that I don't really enjoy playing. So I think it's going to keep people that are subscribed in, maybe pull in some other people, but I don't see it as being the savior of Game Pass or, you know, this is going to be the one that lures everyone in. No. But that's my take.
Yeah, that's what's up. And I'm glad you brought up the whole the success of this game because I got some interesting facts for you, for everybody actually.
Drop those numbers.
According to your homeboy Satya Nadella.
Oh shit!
So he said,
"Shout out to the boy."
You know, I got a little story about Satya Nadella. Maybe one day I'll say it. Last week's launch of Black Ops 6 was the biggest Call of Duty release ever, setting a record for day one players as well as Game Pass subscribers ads on launch day. Here's the interesting part. Unit sales on PlayStation and Steam were also up over 60% year over year. Now, Adam, I don't know if you heard the last show or last couple of shows. My theory is, and you know, somewhat controversial to quote Richard Bailey Jr., I said that Call of Duty would sell, you know, either physically or digitally, it didn't matter. It would sell best on PlayStation because why would you buy it on Xbox, right? You know, because you got Game Pass. And this looks like I got proven right. You know, at least when it comes to like actual individual sales, it seems I was right about that. Go ahead, bro.
You're just proving why sales numbers are an outdated metric.
How so?
Because technically it could be like we could be in a situation where like, yeah, it's sold more on PlayStation, but there's more active players on Xbox. So which platform is it more successful on? Like I feel like we're getting further and further from sales numbers meaning actually anything tangible other than being one weird metric which isn't indicative of the overall health of any given game.
Well, if anything, it proved that whole court case of like, oh, this is gonna ruin PlayStation. Everybody's gonna jump ship if Microsoft gets Call of Duty. No, that's not true at all. People are gonna stay there because that's their platform of choice. That's where their buddies are. They're established there. They weren't gonna jump, and that proves it with the numbers. People just said, you know what? Doesn't matter. I like Call of Duty. I'm gonna pay for it on the platform of my choice, and that's PlayStation. So
yeah. Actually, no, I think. Adam, thank you for being the refreshing voice of sanity. Because, like, yeah, no, Adam brings up a really good point. Like, there's a lot of really good data that you can pull from those metrics. It's just often not the ones a lot of people do. But, like, yeah, you can look at that and say, like, hey, looks like Call of Duty on PlayStation is maintaining healthy viability. Cool. Like, I don't think that there's any looking at that data and being like, it's doing terrible. So yeah, like it shows that it's doing well. I think that a lot of people, you know how, a lot of Twitter users and game journalists will, I'm just afraid people are going to look at that and just be like, oh, well, this means that, like, it's like, we'd be like, oh, like, I get a video game lost 80% of its user base in only 3 months. Like, yeah, that's every video game pretty much ever. So, like, I'm just tired of people using data to be disingenuous. So, but Adam brings up a really good point.
Mm-hmm. And there's only a few things that are kind of upsetting with this, is that they're sort of losing, Microsoft is sort of losing out on another market with this launch, and that's the people that are into Steam Deck. If you love your Steam Deck, you can play it if you do the whole Game Pass and remote and do all that stuff, right? Or the GeForce, it's on GeForce Now as well. But if you want to install it locally, it won't work because of the anti-cheat that they have installed, and that doesn't support Linux, and that's a whole thing. And we're really hoping that they could just figure out some way to bypass it, because they've done it with Halo. Halo had the same issue, where it wouldn't work. The Master Chief Collection wouldn't work on the Steam Deck because of this anti-cheat, but they went with another route, another software, and then it worked. So I'm hoping they do that, because then that opens the door even more, because the people that would want to buy it on PC would buy it, especially if they're going to play it on their Steam Deck on the go. I mean, come on, you're playing the butter shooter on your butter handheld on the go? Come on. Excuse me? I would love it. And yeah, you could do the install Windows, but that defeats the purpose of the Steam Deck, because then it runs like shit. So I'm just crossing my fingers, because we see PlayStation playing nice now with Steam, especially with Steam Deck getting all these games that just with God of War Ragnarok on the deck, butter, smooth, great, love it. So I hope that actually comes across, because this is a big hit for Microsoft, and this trend goes, if this hype, this wave continues, and like I said, the season goes on throughout the year, there's tons of stuff, and people keep talking about it, and they keep playing it, then this could help, because I'm not too sure. I think they have 1 or 2 other good games maybe coming to Game Pass, but I think this is it. Right? Maybe we got Indiana Jones still coming, and that'll keep people in. But if you still have Call of Duty running strong, it could be that one where I'm on the fence about getting. Well, Call of Duty's still there, and they got new stuff. Okay. Or maybe just to renew every month, right? Because not everybody, I think, is paying for the full year subscription. I'm sure there's a lot of people that's doing monthly to see how their play style, they have a life and other things going on outside of gaming, and maybe they don't do the yearly. Maybe they will now, because like, oh well, I could always jump back into this. So it's interesting times.
Yeah, go ahead. There's some other stuff, but go ahead. You can ask your shit first.
I got a question about, because I haven't been into Call of Duty in a few years now. So what I'm not too sure of is how does Warzone work with all of this?
Warzone is free. It's tied into it, but it's its own thing. Warzone it's battle royale. So there's that.
Is it like when you launch, Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty, is Warzone an option in that, or is
Yes,
it just
all of
okay?
them option. It's got, and that's another annoying part because when you load it up on your Xbox, if you're on the Xbox, you'll see it'll still say Call of Duty. It doesn't say Black Ops Cold War. Black Ops 6. It's just Call of Duty. Everything is Call of Duty. All my damn games say Call of Duty now. I have almost all of them still installed. And when you boot up, it'll have its own hub, and then you'll see that all these other Call of Duties that you have installed, and I think it even shows some of the ones that you don't, but it sees that you own, and you click on it, then it'll install it. So it has its own hub. They introduced that a few Call of Duties back, that you'll see all of it in your face. And at first it looks a little messy, but then after some time you'll start getting an understanding of like, oh, this is what this one is, and it puts the multiplayer in front. It's got Warzone and all that stuff. So the issue that a lot of people that I know that play have is that they, as you know, the install size, right? Everybody's talked about how large this install, and it's mainly because it's adding a lot of the Warzone stuff, and people don't play that are pissed that we still have to install it to have everything included because it shares a lot of the same assets and things, and that's why. It's a lot of content packs. If you're bored and you want to take a look, you could do it on the PlayStation 2 when you go into the hard drive management and you go to game and you could see all the different packs. You'll see like a shitload, not just, campaign pack 1, 2. You'll see content, you'll see all these weird number packs, all different file sets. Some are checked, some aren't checked. Why the ones aren't checked aren't needed? We don't know. It doesn't really explain it. But there's a lot. It's big, and remember that everybody wants it to look beautiful, and in order to look beautiful, you have to be big. So these are big files, uncompressed files. But that's why it looks the way it does, and it runs. And I have to say, I've had almost all of them installed on my Xbox, at least the newer ones on my Series X, and they haven't run amazing compared to my PS5 when I had it on Modern Warfare 2 on there. But this one, I don't know what they did, but it's snappy. Like once I boot into it, it's like, oh, are you ready to play? Yeah, boom, boom, boom. And within 20 seconds or so, I'm already loading into a multiplayer match or something. I'm like, this is pretty fast, and running off the SSD. I'm sure it's like that on the PlayStation 5, but for the previous ones, they were not that quick. Hell, Modern Warfare, the Modern Warfare 2. I want to say that the one that they fixed up, or I should say the remastered one, that one still to this day on the Xbox Series X has all kinds of issues during the cutscene. They like stutter and stuff like don't know what's wrong with that. They still haven't fixed that. I figured now that they own the company, they put some extra guys on it to smooth that out. Nope, still runs all choppy. But this one, they put a lot of time into it. Treyarch worked hard on this because they knew that we say this whenever there's an exclusive, even though this isn't exclusive, but this is a big deal to Microsoft, that they need a banger, right? They need something not to fail and to actually give them a win. And this gives them a win. Granted, they don't really have much competition in this market. What, you got Battlefield? Where's that? Crickets, right? There's no one there. We got a few on PC that are solid, but when it comes to consoles, it's pretty much this one. You can't really count Fortnite. Yeah, that's a shooter, but that's no. That's not on this level. So it's expected that they dominate, and that it dominates for the right reasons. That it's providing that gameplay experience that players are accustomed to and are expecting. And here they are. So somebody just dropped.
Yeah, I know Manny's having some audio issues. Yo, Carlos.
Yo.
When you were, this is what I thought was going to happen. You're like, yo, Adam, I haven't played Call of Duty in a while, so I got a question. Is this the one?
No. Well,
that was going to be my next question.
I'll answer you. No. I'll tell you when it'll be the one. It'll be the one when we get into Ready Player One, and I got the full bodysuit on, and I'm on my omnidirectional running pad, and I got the chest piece. The day you see me on here with the chest piece, and I got some swelling on my cheeks, and you're like, what happened? I'm like, oh, didn't you see my butter helmet? I put it on, and it's got these sensors that like shock me. I'm tapping. That's the butter one. That's the one that'll change everything. But we haven't gotten there yet. I mean, this is solid. This is a solid outing. This is solid. It gives a great campaign. I'm having a lot of fun with the campaign. Multiplayer is multiplayer, but thankfully a lot of new maps. People bitch about spawning and spawn camping. That's in every shooter. Sorry, buddy. That's always going to be an issue. You can't make it perfect because all it takes is 2 or 3 of your buddies to run where you're going to spawn, and there you go. Now you're next to them, and now people know, and they're shooting. Whatever, but it's fun. It's a good game. It's 10 times better than Modern Warfare 3, which is garbage, which shouldn't even count. Let's not even mention it. It was because it wasn't legit. It wasn't really a Call of Duty, the main game, part of the main storyline. They just threw that in because they need to get rid of that contract. This is it. This took what 2.5 years or whatever.
This is it.
Yeah, this is what people expect, right? We always talk about the whole Michael Bay experience of a campaign. It's over the top. Yeah, here we go. This is over the top. All kinds of craziness happening. You know, I sent some video clips that that they even added bullet time. They added some of that effect, which was reminiscent from the Sniper Elite game. You ever played the Sniper Elite game? And when you shoot the bullet, and then it'll like do slow mo and it'll track the shot. It's not going as far as showing the exoskeleton and all that, but it is showing the slow mo and the bullet like impacting the guy's eyeball and stuff. And it's like they threw a lot in, and it's fun. It looks great and it's fun. Right? That's what you want.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
good.
But yes, again, some of these numbers are pretty wild. On October 28th, and this is from Circana. This is a third party entity, which I always say I want to hear from these guys. I don't want to hear from Xbox telling me, oh, engagement was up on day one. Your numbers don't mean shit to me, bro, because you're not telling me numbers. You're just telling me engagement's up. Whatever. Of course you're gonna tell me it's up. You're fucking Xbox. So this independent firm, very interesting here. On October 28th, 52% of active Xbox players and 34% of active PS5 players were playing Call of Duty. That's crazy, bro. You know?
That's a lot.
It is a lot. And it is a lot. And if anybody out there who has an Xbox probably knows, probably half your friends list is just watching Netflix or Peacock or something else. So now would be the time to take a look and see if they're actually playing Call of Duty. Because also, we got to think, right? Engagement, like we joke, you said it, right? What the hell does that mean? Engagement is that I booted up.
Mean anything.
That's what this is about.
Yeah.
That's okay. Gotta go. That's what I'm saying. Let's see as the weeks go on, and let's just see if it plays. Like there's no system out there besides that I've seen besides Steam that has the best metrics of player interaction. Like they show that chart right on. You click on any game and you can see on the side that it'll tell you exactly how many fools are playing that game right now. Not like last week we had high engagement. No, there are 10,000 people playing, whatever shooter game or whatever game out there. And that's a great live metric of showing activity on a game. So we'll see. It's Call of Duty, so people are going to play it and continue to play it. But I'm just curious to see if the numbers are high across the board and continue to stay high. I'm sure they will, because at least toward the holiday season, because even though we have this, I'm sure there's some people that are just going to get the game for Christmas or maybe Black Friday, some type of deal, or maybe I'm sure Microsoft will do some kind of Game Pass deal for Black Friday. Hey, sub up for a year and get like 10% off or something like that. Because it's all about service, right? You can't really say, we're going to sell you the game. No one wants to pay the game, the full price. I mean, if you're on PlayStation or something, or if you get it on Steam, but it's all about getting it free or cheap.
Yeah. By the way, I went on my PSN friends list. Obviously, my friends list, so take it how you will, to see if a lot of people were playing Call of Duty. You know what people were, quote unquote, playing the most? Online on PS5. They're just watching Netflix or some bullshit.
Oh yeah.
See, I'm telling you. Let me see what people on my thing here. Let's take a look. Let's see. Do I got anybody?
Oh, and the last thing I wanted to bring up while you're doing that. So Call of Duty tops, and let me read the headline first, and I'll explain what this means. Call of Duty tops 500 million copies sold as Black Ops 6 becomes biggest release in franchise history. I know you must be thinking, wait a minute, are there 500 million PlayStations and Xboxes? No, this is how many were sold to stores. So that's how many are out in the wild. So they're expecting this shit to be a big seller, Yeah, no, they went ham. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. I got some people playing that. I got some people playing Fallout 76. Somebody I know that's on this panel right now playing Valheim.
Valheim. Shit,
Right? Somebody playing that. And what's this Dragon Age? What?
Oh, I saw one person on my friends list playing that.
That's so funny. There is one person on my friend list doing the same.
Oh shit, just one though. And then we got a follow-up story about that. So Brett, I want you to get ready later on when we talk about Dragon Age. But Manny, I haven't heard from you. What are your thoughts on this Call of Duties? You're muted, dude. Right, talk.
My silence.
Oh, I think Manny's having technical difficulties. You may have muted your own mic, by the way, like on the actual thing. There you are.
All right. So sorry about that. Yeah, as far as this goes, like the numbers and everything, I'm like, makes sense, right? If everybody who's on an Xbox is probably going to be, anybody who owns an Xbox is probably who's interested in Call of Duty is probably going to go with their free version, the one that comes with their service, and then obviously anybody on PlayStation who's going to be, there's no services like that, they're going to invest in actually buying the game and stay where they usually are. I mean, I know a lot of the folks are probably going to call us out on this one, be like, oh, I thought you said when this was going to be the thing that that said that Xbox was going to be the going to be the cornerstone for Xbox and all that other stuff. See, that's in a world where if they lock the door, right? If they said no, the only place that you can get Call of Duty is on Xbox and PC. If they did it that way, yes, I would say people would jump over. But that's exactly what Sony was afraid of. So there you go.
Yep, and it didn't happen. That's it. It's like the Y2K. Didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they. I think in general, like I guess maybe that, and that's what the foresight with Microsoft or Xbox is that PlayStation and PC they have the majority of the players. If you were to close that down, then you're closing off a huge source of revenue because people are still buying games. But it's what it is.
I think PlayStation still doesn't play along with PC and Xbox in the multiplayer. When I was playing multiplayer, I always see the little PC icon or the Xbox. I don't see the PlayStation, so I don't think they're playing nice, and I don't know why that is. Because at this point, come on now, it helps. It's a win-win for everybody. It helps everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
I will mention one thing real quick. I don't know if this is a segue or not, but just one interesting note that I went to the Steam stats. Speaking of Steam stats, someone mentioned earlier, the top selling games. Can anybody guess what number 2 is?
Wait,
GTA 5.
No, it's not GTA 5.
Game? Is it that card game? That
No, it's. I'll give you a hint.
Dragon Age.
it's Veilguard.
No, it's definitely not Dragon Age. Number 2 is Call of Duty 6, Black Ops 6. Now, can someone?
Because Veilguard's number 1.
Exactly. Number 1 is Dragon Age, which is shocking to me.
My money was on Concord.
But
Game of the year.
if they didn't take it out,
game of the so good they had to pull it. Damn right.
Oh, we're going to be talking about Concord. Oh, Manic.
That was really. Yeah, I mean, Adam wasn't fair to the other games. So.
Yeah. It wasn't for other games, so they had to pull it. It was too hot.
And by the way, I'm looking at the concurrent players on Steam right now. So Call of Duty is number 4. It's just Call of Duty. Number 3 is Dota 2. Number 2 is a game called Banana. And Brian is probably gonna click in right now and be like, "Oh yeah," or something like that.
Oh no,
I've never heard of this game.
Oh no, yeah, it's been like in the top 5 since around February.
I haven't noticed it.
Do I dare ask?
Only I don't even know, so I can't even answer you.
Okay.
And I'm not going to because I don't want to know.
I don't think I want to know either. Banana, my imagination is running wild, and no, we're good. You know?
Look, all you got to know is that banana is for scale.
Yeah. It's crazy. All right. Anything else you guys want to say about the Blaps?
I think it's a good idea. I think that I think that there's the hidden weapon that I think a lot of people are kind of overlooking is, doing it this way kind of guarantees that they're always going to have good profit and a healthy player base and a healthy installed player base. Having money kind of makes money in that kind of situation. Like there are a lot of games that you'd be like, oh, I was thinking about picking that up, and then you hear that it's pretty much a dead game, and you're like, well, never mind. Guess I'm not doing that. So like, the viability of online games is so tied to their health in numbers that I think that the way that they've set this up, they can still sell the game and profit from it, but it gets an installed fan base from Game Pass, which keeps its numbers healthy. I feel like it's a win-win. I feel like they put themselves in a really great place, and I think that they're doing a good job. So good for Call of Duty.
If anything, I think they're hoping that this is the Trojan horse to people's wallets. That it's like, oh, we'll get in and they'll sub up and they'll just forget about it like their Planet Fitness subscription and just stay part of the system because, hey, we got Call of Duty. And hopefully it works out for them.
Call of Duty. Good stuff, man. All right, now on to some, bad news for Sony. This, by the way, Miss Cleo moment right here. I called this, many of us here called this while ago, that Firewalk Studios would be, that its flame would be extinguished. That's exactly what happened. Sony killed the studio, shut it down after the rousing success of Concord that lasted a spectacular 2 weeks.
Yeah, didn't somebody ask us what if they're going to retool the game? I'm like, there's no chance.
Yeah.
There's no chance they're going to just cancel this. And they were waiting for that shoe to drop. People were leaving Firewalk because they knew this was coming. And there it is.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So, yeah, in a statement put out by Riku's best friend, Herman Holtz, he said that they killed this studio and they killed another one. But, Chris, since you're talking, no surprise here, right?
Oh, zero shock. I mean, just the amount of money that was poured into Firewalk and Concord's development. In 8 years, over 200 million. It might have been more than that. And then for the game to live for 10 days. 10 days, couldn't even break 300 concurrent players, lifetime, on launch, right? That's pitiful. And they used all this flowery language like, oh, they did exceptional work. I'm like, where? If it was exceptional, people would be fucking playing it. This shit would be soaring on Steam. The numbers would be huge. But nobody was playing this shit. Nobody wanted this.
Yeah.
People on Steam are playing a game called Banana. So there's obviously a vacuum for video games in Hungary.
Chris, they tried really hard, okay?
Yeah, they tried their best,
but,
Yeah,
it's like macaroni art of PvP shooters.
Hey, I didn't say that, Tony.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
So they tried really hard. I didn't say they tried their best.
Yeah, they tried really hard. Now, I like your theory that they canceled the game because it was just too hot. It was just destroying other games. Nobody wanted to play anything else. So
look, man, like if you raise
for the sake
bar
of the industry
like that, like
did anybody here play it?
Hell no.
No.
Did you play Atom?
Huh? No. No.
Even Adam said, "Fuck that shit,"
Man,
I mean, like statistically, what are the chances that we're one of the 300?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. By the
think-
way,
do you
in the
think it would've
chat,
done-
does
Wait, do
anybody
you think-
play this shit?
Yeah, and do you think it would have done better if it was part of their service, free, like
No.
a free game to play?
No.
No, because
not
think
at all.
about it. When they had the beta, which is ostensibly free, nobody played that shit.
Oh, that should have been a red flag right there.
Yeah.
Not to mention that you remember the last time they put one of their multiplayer games on their service, they launched with that game. Remember that one?
Which one was
Don't
that?
even
Which
remember
one?
it.
No.
Was
Manny,
it All Stars?
Yeah.
No, there's like a bunch of them. That's the problem. So
Well,
hence, which
first,
one?
The launch one. With Destruction All Stars was it called? Right? Was that
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
That wasn't
one.
launch.
That wasn't a launch. It was close. Wasn't it close to the? Yeah, it was
It
close
was
to the close to launch. But yeah,
Launch window.
anyway, that one launched on there too. Got put on there too, and nobody cared.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
I
to be
thought you meant
fair,
Richard's favorite game, Foam Stars.
flop stars, you mean? Yeah. Oh, by the way, but to be fair though, both flop stars and all stars are still available to play.
yeah. You can still play them.
You still play them. But yeah, Concord. That's got to be the most disastrous. That beats ET as most
Oh,
disastrous
definitely.
game. You know?
Yeah, I mean, just the amount of money lost, the life of the game. I mean, I know Atari destroyed a bunch of copies, but once you had a copy of the game, you had it, right?
Yeah.
It's not like they took it away from you. There's a live service. Once they shut it off, you can't play it
It's gone.
anymore. It doesn't matter if you have the disc or not.
You
And,
know who else has it, Chris?
Oh,
The deserts of New Mexico have also.
yeah, it's just right. Find the hole where they buried it. Yo, in 20 years, we'll go back there. I know Concord's here.
Oh man, it's on that
Make the
hard
documentary.
drive.
Man, I hope those copies of ET eventually just meld and merge into a giant ET cartridge that just comes out of the ground. Oh, go home.
Shit. I remember playing that game, and I fell in the first hole and never got out, and never played it again.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I get out? I looked this next, and oh, he dropped down. I'm like, take this card out. Fucking bullshit.
I still have your copy of it.
There you go. You can bury that in the backyard. Let somebody try to find it someday.
Wait, so Adam, your experience playing ET and the experience of the actual physical ET game cartridge are one and the same?
Yes.
You both fell in a hole and just never got out.
No. That's it.
That's funny.
Yeah, I just to go back to the whole Firewalk stuff, man. This is an eye opener for Sony, man. Because remember, not too long ago, they've been preaching Sony. They've been preaching this whole games as a service, and we're gonna have a whole bunch of them and a whole bunch of new studios and all these things. And it's like every developer is on alert right now, especially the smaller ones that are doing all these types of games. It's like, whoa, are we next?
Well, yeah, they're all trying to catch that Fortnite wave. It's too late. It's too late.
Well, that's that's the other studio that's not getting mentioned in this because nobody knows what they were making. But Neon Koi was also making they're part of their supposedly part of their mobile department, but they were making some sort of multiplayer game as well. So
Yeah.
And nobody knows what they were working on, but obviously they nipped that one before it even dropped. So
I just find the
Wonder-
statement just very
Batwoman did.
strange in general.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Brian.
because like if you read the statement, they talk about how like they still have plans to go on with mobile going forward, blah 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 blah. But then they shut down the studio making a mobile game for them. So which one is it? Like, do you still have plans for mobile or not? Because if you do, then why close the studio that is aligned with your plans? It's
Well,
It's
that's
on
so
the
it doesn't
back
make
burner
sense.
for them.
that
It's on the
makes
back
sense. Like as much as Xbox, like going, we need more games like Hi-Fi Rush, and then you shut down Tango GameWorks. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking out both sides of their mouth, like why not both?
Why not both?
But yeah, so go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
one of the other statements that really gets to me, and I think it like sends shivers down my spine. It's a timely statement. Is when Herman Hulse acquired them, and he sent out that statement saying that Firewalk and Concord are the future of PlayStation. Only for them
Riku, where you at?
only for them to release a game that was overpriced, didn't connect with the market, was shut down, and now the studio's dead. So if that's the future of PlayStation, I don't know to be concerned or not.
Shit, that's a good point, man. Yo, that's like the equivalent of like you get a job, like let's just say, for example, you live in New York, right? You get a job in San Francisco, you're ready, you ready to move, you fucking quit your job and shit, get your life ready to go out. You head out of San Francisco, then the fucking studio shuts down and you got nothing. You know, it's like the equivalent of that. It's like you had all these hopes and you left with nothing, you know? And again, I'm curious to find out who is ultimately to blame. Like, I don't have any like, this is just a theory. What if these guys were working on a specific type of game, then maybe Sony came and was like, no, you're changing it to this now, and then all this madness happens? Or was this always the type of game it was supposed to be, and Sony just egged it on, you know? But because I'm like 8 years, man, like how many iterations did this shit go through, you know, before we got what we got? I find it hard to believe that the Concord that came out is the original one. That just my thought. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. Not after 8 fucking years, you know.
There's a third possibility here.
The third one's usually.
What if Jimbo visited it during his retirement tour?
Oh shit! And put the curse on him, you know.
That's the curse of the Jimbo.
What about that DC one? The DC one that tried this and flopped. Oh man.
You mean Batwoman, the movie they canceled before even?
No. The game that came out that turned into the same type of thing, like a shooter and Yeah, Suicide Squad, like the same thing. It's like that was in development for a bunch of years. Trash, and it's like we couldn't believe. Like, is this really what you were going for the whole time? And I think if the people the powers that be that have the money, if they're like, hey, this is the type of game we want, can you make like that Fortnite, something like that, with all these known characters? I'm sure on paper to them it makes perfect sense. These are established characters, right? Established brand. They should print money. But it doesn't work out that way. So I wouldn't be surprised with Concord if that was always the plan, because we know they wanted to get in that market. Remember, they said how many of these live service games they wanted to make. That tells me this was planned that way day one. Yeah, it probably had a bunch of bump in the roads and things weren't working, and I would be surprised if they were trying to, just keep their eye on what was working in that space and among other games and what wasn't, and trying to make things perfect. So that way when it comes out, it's like, oh, we don't have this one feature issue that people were having with that other game. We fixed that. We removed that. And it still didn't matter because no one can connect to these characters. No one connected to this world, right? If you don't find an interest, then you don't play.
This is a hero shooter, right? In the vein of Overwatch. What is one of the reasons that game sold well? Because people like the characters, they connected to them. You can't say that nobody gives a fuck about these Concord characters. We talked about this before on Throwdown. There's a website called Rule 34 that lists all Rule 34 fucking examples. This game didn't have any of those. You know why? Because let's just be real. Why? What's one of the reasons why Overwatch sold so well? Because people wanted to fuck those characters. Nobody wanted to fuck those characters from fucking Concord. You know, let's just be real here. If you're at the website dedicated to, if it exists, there's a porno of it, doesn't have anything for Concord. You know, so among other things, it's just ugly, fucking disgusting looking characters. The design work is too busy. There's too much shit going on. You know, among other things. And then, like we said, 8 years after the fact, you're coming out with this shit. That genre isn't what it used to be. You know, actually, you know what? Not even maybe. Okay, perhaps the game would have had 100 more players had it come out when it was supposed to come out, right? But I think those character designs were going to just kill this thing to begin with, you know? Not to mention some of the other, firms attached to this thing, but we're not going to get into that. Sugary, we're not getting into that. Same thing as killed Suicide Squad, I should say. That game committed suicide,
And they lost right out the gate with the price point. The king of the mountain right now is a low price of free. So it's like you can't, if you say, oh, we're $60, and like you said, no established franchise, no established connection with characters. Why? When this is free and I can pay $10 and get like a Spider-Man skin, something I can relate to. You know what I mean? It's like people will just jump on that as opposed to this other thing that They should have. I don't know. I think they should have made it free, put it on the service just for a while or whatever, just to get the buzz. Throw in a bunch of shit.
I don't think there's
Well,
going to be any buzz for this bullshit game.
Yeah.
You know, nothing going to save. There's just doomed from beginning. But it's
Well-
dead, and so it's the studio.
I mean, that's lessons learned. You don't
Yeah.
if you have a game that's taking over 5 to 10 years to develop, it better be fucking evergreen. It can't be we're catching on in this fad, because Overwatch was the hotness back when it started development. Overwatch isn't even Overwatch anymore.
I feel like they need to stop being greedy and partner up with someone. Partner up with Hasbro and bring in the Transformer universe. If they did that, and they did one just with Transformers, I'm sure that one would take off like hotcakes. You know, and then introduce other variants and other characters for the Transformers from different generations. I'm sure everybody would jump on it, or a large majority of people jump on it, because at least it's established. It'll be fun. You have them transform, get on a car, drive off, jump in the air, transform, start shooting. Yeah, but I feel like no one wants to partner up and share the wealth. They want all the money for themselves, and if they can't come up with characters that people care about, then you're just losing money. Because what was it, like over $100-something million?
Yeah, the thing about it is, like, the whole point of a multiplayer idea is to not spend overly insane amount of money to develop it. It needs to be a smaller investment. That's what it really should have been between all of those things. The idea, in general, one of the reasons I'm sure why Sony invested in a lot of these things initially was because, okay, for the price of one giant AAA, single player game, we can make 3 multiplayer games, something like that. But it looks like every single situation that they've gotten themselves into, or most of the situations that they got themselves into, are situations that they were like, at least like Concord, where it's like they're spending an absorbent amount of money trying to fix something that was broken from the beginning, when they should have just cut their losses, initially, before it got so far, right? So
Yeah.
I think this situation is just like, and I'm like, maybe that's why that other studio, they closed down that other studio. Maybe they saw that there's something that they were working on was just going to cost too much to fix. So let's close it. Let's close it out before it even gets to where we're launching and we're spending a bunch of money on promotion and all this other stuff. Just clear it out.
Yeah, well, that's the end of Concord. It's definitely a lesson learned for sure. I'm just curious to see whether studios will pay attention to that lesson, but we shall see.
You know the answer to it.
They won't. We
all know the answer.
How many down are we as far as the 12 service games that we've got that they said that Jimbo said that they had? So we've cleared out Concord. I guess Foam Stars was a part of that. What was the one that whatever game that Neon Koi company was making, and we still have what's her face from Assassin's Creed's game,
Jade Raymond.
which is Jade Raymond. Sorry, yeah, Jade Raymond's title, which was also a multiplayer title. And then what else do we got on there? We still got a few more.
Yeah, Marathon. So yeah, we'll see.
Go
ahead, Brian.
Oh no, that was Rich.
That was Rich.
Okay, yeah, Rich. What's
Yeah,
up?
The other black guy.
it's not a sprint.
That's
It's a
racist.
marathon.
Yo, why are you so racist, Carlos? Why are you so racist?
But Rich, what are your thoughts on Concord and all this insanity, man?
Well, I'm not surprised, and it's probably too soon to say this, but this game will forever be remembered as Con Closed because studio, it's over. Studio, game over. So you only learned a valuable lesson. So don't do that again. Don't ever do that again.
And I think the gaming community hopefully learns a lesson from all this, is that this is how it works. It doesn't matter what big company, Sony, Microsoft, PlayStation, it doesn't matter. It's like studios open and they get closed. It is what it is. It sucks. No one likes it. It's like that in all the markets. I mean, we see it with restaurants and stores. Oh, my favorite opened up, and then the month is gone. It's sad, but this is how things are. So before people start throwing stones at each other, you see, look what you did. This is just how it works. You make a game. If it flops, you guys get splitting up. Hopefully, they get jobs elsewhere in other departments. If not, then it's gone. It's sad, but it's the nature of the beast.
Yep, it is what it is. All right, man. I want to talk about something else. Brett, get ready for this one. We got to talk about Dragon Age, Veilguard, which we used to keep calling Failguard, but maybe not so, because apparently the critics love it. To nobody's surprise, the game's getting praise everywhere. So, Brett, what's your take on this, man?
I mean, it's crazy how access journalism will do that. It's almost like it's kind of intended to do so. It's super weird. So if those of you
Hold on,
don't
Brett.
know,
Brett,
yo,
hold on.
go ahead.
Can you just throw in something really quickly, just based on what Tony just said now? So
Yeah.
in the statement by Herman Hulse, just to bring it back, he said Concord had to shut down even though it had great critical success. So I just want to point that out.
It
So-
didn't. That's the
What?
crazy part.
No, that's what Herman Hulse said in the statement.
No, I know, but like it did. That's the like dumb part. It's like it wasn't even critically acclaimed. I don't know what the hell he was watching.
Carlos, are you calling Herman Hulse a liar?
I'm calling him either a liar or just an ignorant ass dude.
No shit.
I think the facts are calling him a liar.
Damn.
Like he's supposed to know. I mean, if the statement that Brian mentioned is true, there's no way in hell he thought that. Look, I just went right now to the Metacritic. It got a 62 on Metacritic and a 1.7 in the user score. So there's no measure in any of this that says it was a positive.
Yeah, he's tripping.
Either he's cherry picking some reviews, which I'm trying to see which ones were the most positive. Maybe like some PlayStation magazine type shit.
Yeah, I was about to say something, but I'll stop. Anyway, Brett, continue, sir.
I apologize, you guys. Like, I've been just mad about this for like almost a week now. So, part of me's ready to pull the soapbox out, and the other part of me is like, my knees are hurting from me just being up here and yelling about it all week. So, I guess what I'll say is, for those of you who don't know, BioWare did a pre-release event where they invited a bunch of YouTubers and reviewers and influencers and that kind of thing out. And this is not a small undertaking. This is bringing people out, buying their tickets, buying their hotel, coordinating that, hiring staffers to oversee the whole thing. It's not a small amount of money. So they brought these guys out, and then after they brought them out, they kind of followed up, and anybody who gave it a negative kind of preview didn't receive a review code. And when you're looking at this, from a kind of top-down perspective, like the amount of money that you had to spend to fly each of these people out, and then the amount of money that you had to spend to hire staffers to like accommodate and staff the whole event, is the review codes are literally nothing. Like literally costs you nothing. So to then deny that part seems ridiculous if you look at it through any lens other than they're doing this to kind of curate who gets the ability to put out their reviews first. And I'm sure Tony will corroborate this. Like, there is this kind of unspoken pressure, and a lot of people in the games journalism space kind of bow to it, and they shouldn't. But that's kind of a thing that integrity is. This pressure where if everybody else is rating this game at an 8, you probably shouldn't rate it at a 5. To be such an extreme outlier can be seen as not having done your research or being poor at your job. It just generally doesn't, it's very rarely going to be looked at like, oh, well, you're the only person with the right take. So by doing so, they get the best reviews, at the very least, out early and sway the Metacritic, and most likely have a noticeable impact on the reviews that follow. And this is known as access journalism, whereas somebody who have a financial stake in having access to these kinds of things, have this access threatened to be cut off unless they give a preferable review. It's kind of for lack of a better term, honestly, I don't even need a better term. It is genuinely a form of extortion. And it is, honestly, it is a hallmark of how far we've fallen. Like, there are a lot of really shitty things that have happened in the game industry. Like, a lot of really shitty things. So, when I'm like, man, this is a brand new low. Like, that should say something. And in a time when we really feel like we're trying to race to the bottom as quick as possible, I can't stress enough, this is a problem. This is systemic corruption. This is more than your Kotakus and your Polygons all deciding to tell you what you're gonna think, because your toxic brain can't be left to just run around and have its own thoughts, and it needs to be imbued with the message. So it's way more than all of this. It's way more than poor quality gaming being delivered to us with this kind of high-roading sort of moral high ground, where if we don't agree with it, then we're just terrible people. Like, it goes beyond a step of all that. And identity politics or lack of wanting to see identity politics, or any discourse even on whether or not this is really a Dragon Age game. All that aside, this access journalism is, I can't think of a better way to put it. It's wildly problematic. It is a huge issue where the very last tiny vestiges of trust that we can have in the people whose entire existence is to be a tool for better informed purchasing. Like, that's the whole idea of what a review is, right? Like, it's there simply to be a tool so that us consumers can spend our money more well informed, and it's a tool to help us with our purchasing power. That whole thing as a system is just at risk of being undermined. And I know that kind of sounds like I'm just being melodramatic or hyperbolic, but it genuinely isn't. Like, we're at a point now where the line is becoming so blurred that the only people who are going to be able to tell you about something, going forward, are people who are bought and sold. So the only reviews you can get are the ones that are fake. So that just kind of feels, I don't know.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
And I got something to jump in with after that.
And if you don't feel comfortable answering it, then it no worries. Rich, did you get offered a review copy for Dragon Age?
Don't answer that shit, Rich. Don't answer.
Carlos, that is a phenomenal question. The correct answer is, yeah, there was a code sent today. I'm not reviewing the game. They said they wanted to offer the coalition a code, but it was today. Notice, after the review embargo, okay? Because the review embargo ended on Monday. So there you go.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, and to answer that question, now that I actually can't talk about it, NVIDIA offered me a review code I didn't take him up on it because I'm a massive Dragon Age fan. It just doesn't look like Dragon Age to me, so I'm good. Plus, I am busy reviewing other things. As if you saw my Twitter, you know what I'm working on, so things take priority. Here's what I want to say to that, Brett. I agree with your sentiment, but I will slightly push back on one thing. You have to remember, this is a positive thing. You have to remember, you don't have to rely on mainstream media for reviews, right? If we only had the mainstream media for reviews, we'd be in trouble. But you don't. You have other guys out there. It's a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of people on Twitch, a lot of people on very, very good reputable websites like the Coalition who are going to give it to you straight. So you don't. I've been saying this specific thing for over 10 years on Throwdown. Why do people come listen to us? Just because we're not IGN. It's because we're not GameStop. We're real dudes. So as I've always told people, don't worry about fucking review codes, review fucking scores. They don't fucking matter. Find a reviewer or reviewers, independent guys that you trust, and you listen to them if you need that guidance, right? Don't worry about it. Listen, Brett, how long have we been yelling about fucking IGN and Kotaku on this fucking podcast? It's been over a decade. We know.
No, I absolutely agree with that. But like, I'm still not thrilled with them like systematically trying to choke off those people, us included. Like, if I were reviewing video games, I would be in this boat. If STFU and Play were doing that, we would still be in that boat. So like, I feel a little targeted by this kind of thing. Like, I would definitely be in the camp that was not fucking getting shit right now.
Yeah, you wouldn't. But here's the thing, right? Let's just say you have your Brett fans. They won't give a fuck if you don't get a review code because they know you're probably going to buy the game, or if they may buy the shit for you so you could give them the real review. So that's what
pisses me off.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers should not. Those are good ass motherfuckers. Those are ride or die motherfuckers that are not going to have to wait 4 or 5 more days or whatever for the review to come out. And I realize that they can do that. And I realize that we live in a world where we can't like. But man, that's putting the onus on them to make the extra step. That's putting the onus on the good people and the people I care about to take the extra step to not get fucked, right? Like, and while we can do that, it still pisses me off because it feels like they're going their way out of their way to fuck over the people that I respect. Like, the people that I don't respect are going out of their way to fuck over the people that I do respect.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what gets me heated, right? Like, because who are the people that lose out on this, right? Like oh, it might be like fucking Dave, man, and like Dave has a wife and kids. Dave's middle-aged like us. Dave now has to wait another fucking week before he can play a game because he has to figure out whether or not he's trying to be exploited. Like, Dave may have been really looking forward to it. Maybe Dave doesn't have next week off. Like, who the fuck knows? Like, hey, Dave's a hypothetical guy. I know that. Like, I know. Like there are like, it just feels like death by 1,000 cuts, like there's a bunch of small inconveniences that I guess we could fucking write off, and like there's workarounds, but at a certain point, like, we shouldn't have to work around it, man. Like, and I'm getting real fucking sick of not getting more pissed, right? Like, especially when like you keep looking at like the PC industry doesn't put up with this shit. Every time somebody looks at them cross-eyed, they fucking burn the village down. And I just feel like console gamers, like, man, like we need to take a page from that book. Like, we've been complacent. We keep getting rolled over because of it. I know that PC has not got like 100% win rate, but they're sure as shit doing better than console market has been. Then again, they get all their games a year later or 2 or 3 years earlier. So like, I don't fucking know, man, but like, I don't know. I feel like this has crossed the line where I'm like, okay, even if it doesn't matter, I'm just so mad. I'm just going to yell about this, and I have been all week.
I will say this. This I guess the crux of what your argument is, Brett, has been going on forever. I mean, I'll go to the recent past. Cyberpunk. I mean, Cyberpunk is one of those examples where they sort of moved around the narrative on how the game was going to be reviewed and introduced to the masses when it comes to reviewers. They all gave them RTX 3090s or 3080s. I don't know which one they did. They gave him the chairs. They gave him all the
Only the
good
PC
stuff.
version. Yeah.
And only the PC version. Exactly. They wouldn't even let him review the console versions. So that's one way. And I mean, we've seen this. We've heard stories from Torrance back when he was doing was it Video Game Time? They would fly him out and stuff. So there's always been this type of way to manipulate sort of the review base, and even in more recent times, it's sort of not even that sort of sneaky anymore. It's more when you get influencers.
Yeah, but also sometimes they'll send you something and I'm like, oh, here's a review of this and this and that. Go ahead, write it up. But before you publish, you have to send it to us for screening. And once that's
a big red flag right there.
That's a huge red flag. When you see, we want to proofread, we want to go over it to make sure you're hitting key. No.
That's when you say
for grammar.
This is not your review. This is my review. This is how I see your product. I am not going to write something, send it to you, and you're gonna give the red line all over the place. I'm like, put this, put that, butter. Thank you. No, not doing it. And then next you know, you tell them that, and then you don't get it. And I was like, fuck them, fine, don't send shit. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I know that Brett, that sort of made you annoyed that they fly all these people out there and then they did these little things, but you got to realize why they do things like this, and it's purely advertising. Do you think that they want bad reviews for their products, for their potentially billion-dollar project? No, that's why they brought all those people there. All the people that were in that area, in that place, were probably the top all YouTubers, maybe a couple journos in there. Because in general, I think a lot of these guys don't, with the exception of the big sites like Kotaku and IGN and possibly Polygon, for the most part, they don't care too much about the journalism side because they're not selling their products. Unlike maybe say a influencer.
And they know what they're getting into.
You're officially what that is that they see those situations as advertising vectors for people, to get the word out that this thing is out. That's all it really is seen as.
Yeah. Again, I want to just reiterate. I'm not saying you're not justified in being mad. You actually should be mad, but. And maybe I'm just too cynical because I've been a game journalist for fucking like 12 years now, and I've seen this shit all the time. I can't get mad about it. When I saw this, I'm like, oh, the usual then. It's fucking usual. That's just how it goes, man. And again, we've been screaming about this on Throwdown forever, so I'm not surprised by them. And again, that's why I tell people, don't worry about those big dudes. Follow your smaller creators, bro. They got you right. But since we're talking about this topic, yes, here's the thing. If you're a PR company, who would you rather have, right, at your press event, right? Would you rather have a journalist, a good journalist that's going to be critical of your shit, or an influencer that is going to be a hype man? You're going to want the hype man. When I first started in this industry for many years, when I went to these events, I was asked, what publication do you write for? In later years, around 2017 particularly, I started getting asked a different question. I started being asked, "What game do you stream?" Because it was more and more influencers. And I'm just gonna be honest. I'll withhold the name of the company. A company flew me out to the West Coast, right? For they were debuting a new game. I was legit one of the handful of journalists there, bro. The rest of them were influencers, right? And guess what happened? And I'm being honest, and this is how Tony keeps it real. Remember, they flew me out there, airplane, hotel, food, everything. I still gave the game a bad score because it was a shit game, But what about those influencers? They fucking loved that game, boy, even though the game wasn't that good, So I'm not surprised by any of this shit, bro. I'm not surprised by any of that. It is upsetting, but it is what it is, Ben. That's why you got to find people you trust. Don't trust the mainstream.
Yeah, and I mean, from where we came from, back on the STFU and Play days, we didn't get a lot of shit. But you know what we did? And thankful to the fans at the time, they wait for us to do some of those reviews. We went and did it out of our own pockets, every single one of us. There was no budget on STFU and Play. We just said, all right, these guys didn't send us Metal Gear Solid. All right, Manny, you've known Metal Gear Solid in and out. What's the differences? How's this one compared to the other ones? Just out of our pocket. So, and that's also the thing I call out about a lot of goes to some specific journalists, and specific influencers. Who gives a shit if they sent you anything? Go get off your ass. Go to the company, get a stipend from the company, right? And buy the damn game and do all your coverage there. I know you want to get on top of that, news cycle that's there, but you know what? Just do it like everybody else, because at least at that point you're going to be giving a fully, giving that review. And then the other thing is like, if you remember, like Siskel and Ebert and movie reviewers, do you ever see the movie studios flying movie reviewers anywhere?
In the old days, they didn't.
No, they never did. Why? Because they could be anti whatever their product is, because they're a reviewer. So yeah, nobody should be. I don't think anybody should be. It should be like, oh man, you didn't fly me there. You didn't give me this. That just sounds like people greasing pots. So,
Yeah. All right, we could go on about that, but let's start ending the show up on a positive note. We will be talking about Monster Hunter, obviously, but we'll weave that into the larger narrative, especially since we got Adam here. What have we been playing lately, bruh? So Adam, what have you been playing besides Call of Duty?
Besides, let's see, Red Dead Redemption, the first one on the Steam Deck.
Hold on, we need to hear the thoughts, man. Let's go.
It works. That's the first part. It works. It looks great. It's funny because I had some other people tell me, like, wow, I can't believe it looks so good. I'm like, I can. It's an old ass fucking game. It should look this good. It's running at like 70 FPS on the OLED. I have it set to high, and it's doing it. You can put it to ultra high, and or I think it was very high, ultra high, very, whichever one they labeled it. They always change something. But anyway, I tried it a little bit of that, and it works. It'll drop from like 30, 40. But if you wanted to run at 60, 70, you can leave it on high, and it's great. It's great. It's fun to play on the go, and I mean, it's amazing that we had to wait this long for this to come to PC. I mean, they went to Switch and all the other shit first, and it is what it is, but it's there, and I'm loving it. So been playing that. Still playing God of War Ragnarok on my Steam Deck. I enjoy that. I don't enjoy all the damn puzzles. That's really pissing me off. This hitting the reflection. Like now Kratos is doing shit that a god shouldn't be doing. Throwing his axe to do a ricochet to free some other shit up in the sky. I'm like, when did he get this Mr. MacGyver type of shit? No.
Adam.
Whoa.
I got a question for you, and no one else intervene.
Oh shit.
So you're talking about the God of War puzzles, right?
Yep.
What do you think about your side character giving you hints for those puzzles?
They've done that before in other games, though. I feel like we've seen that before. What was that other one that the girl used to throw bullets and shit? But you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. And it's not all the time. He doesn't do it all the time, because there was one puzzle, and this was early on. I think it was the waterfall area. There was it was the dwarves type of mining cave. And I couldn't figure out where to hit. You have to hit a certain spot. It's like a bunch of little chain reactions. And this is when my little side buddy just stood quiet. I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do. He didn't say shit to me. I did a reload. It still didn't do it. And you know who talked to me? Fucking YouTube talked to me. And YouTube told me exactly what I need to hit, because I kept missing it. It was like you had to stop some blocks to stop the flow, and then it would cause this other chain of events and stuff. And I was hitting the right spot, but you have to hit it after spot. Anyway, the puzzles, not crazy about it, but man, I just love God of War. And I really hope... See, and this is what Sony needs to be putting their money in. Instead of all those fucking live services, bring back Infamous, redo a lot of those, bring back the old God of War, take a page out of Capcom's book of what they did with Dead Rising Rematch, which I also covered. That was a great game. Do that. Make your old games that are really old, not like this Horizon shit that's not that old. Take your old shit and spruce them up, make them nice and shiny, and spit them out into the world. So I'd like to play all my old God of War games and stuff like that. And take it back to the day when Kratos would jump and do all kinds of crazy shit instead of talking to fucking head on his hip and his annoying son. But playing those two. What else? There is something else that I was playing. Oh man, what was it? There was Undisputed. Oh man, Undisputed, the boxing game. Anybody play that here? Anybody jump into the boxing game?
That is a no.
Nope. That is a no. That's a big cricket no, right? So here's the thing. So I've been playing it for over a year because I got into the early access on PC and was playing it, and I was like, all right. I saw it grow. It didn't have announcers. Then they had announcers. Then they didn't have big name boxers. Then they added Tommy Morrison and a bunch of others. And it's when they announced it was coming to consoles, I'm like, yeah, this is great. This is it. This is the final product. There's a big patch that came out, and it still doesn't do it. It doesn't. It scratches the itch of boxing, which we haven't seen on consoles or PC for a long time. But it doesn't fill that fight night feel. And I miss that fight night, and it baffles me that EA has all these fight night games and they have not ported them or or at least put them on PC or do something, because it's a no-brainer. There are no boxing games on PC, so this would be huge. There's some little small one, but nothing on the fight night level. And this was that. This is what everybody wanted. Then they added some weird mini game of trying to get up, which is super annoying. They said they're going to change that. But been playing that one. That's on consoles now. And if you want boxing, there's your boxing. But don't think it's gonna replace that feeling of fight night, because it's not there just yet. I feel like there's some more games, man, because I'm always playing something. Oh, what was it that I was just playing? I just booted up, and then oh man, Mickey Mouse game. Oh, I'm blanking on the name. Epic. Was it the Epic Mickey?
Epic Mickey.
Yeah, the new Epic Mickey remake.
The new Epic Mickey game. I forgot how scary that fucking game was. At least for kids. I was playing with my kids, and my son was like, I gotta go. And he just left the room. I was like, what is the problem? And it's a little bit dark. It's definitely on the dark side. And I don't remember playing that because I think it was on the Wii U or Wii or whatever. And I didn't have those consoles, so I didn't play it.
It's also on PlayStation as well.
It was also on PlayStation?
Yeah, they put it on the 2 as well. Yeah.
They did, so I didn't play it. So it was playing that was all right. And I feel like there's something else. I mean, I'm always playing a bunch of shit. That's the thing. I'm always playing a bunch of stuff. Oh, Badoy, that's it. Assassin's Creed Mirage. Playing that on the Steam Deck. Right, that one is another game that, see, now they're taking a page out of a few other developers that have wised up when it comes to launchers. You don't have that stupid Uplay Ubisoft launcher anymore. Now you'll see a splash screen that's doing it, but if you've ever signed into any Ubisoft game or to their Ubi Connect, at some point on your device, it'll remember that file and it'll see it and it'll just log you in, and it does cross progression. So my profile that was on my console, it just, once I booted up on the deck, it said continue, and I was right where I was before. That is what we want. We want to take the game. It's bad enough you got to double dip to buy the damn game, but at least let me carry over my profile. You did that once before with Valhalla. Valhalla did that, and that was awesome. Because not only did that carry over, but it also took all my DLC that I purchased on the PlayStation. And all that stuff was popping up, and I all saw that. I'm like, oh, that's great. So it wasn't like, oh, we'll do the story, but all the other stuff, no, you got to rebuy it. No. It gave you all that, which is great. And so I've been playing that, and that's looking at like 40 to 50 FPS on there. Really pushing the system. You're getting like 70, 80 CPU usage, but it's running. It's running like a champ right out the box. So those are the games that I've been playing. A lot of games, of course, Call of Duty. I'm going to finish that campaign. But I feel like it's like I don't want to get too sentimental with it, but it just feels, no, for real, because I when it comes to the campaigns, especially shooter campaigns, there's not a lot of them. There's not. We talked about it. I mean, this is it. And I'm having fun with each one that I go in. It's always something different, whether it's a chase or a sniper. I did one. It was really cool where we had to sneak my way up to to a clock tower area and then snipe the guy. And then, of course, once I do that, all hell breaks loose, and now I have to fight my way out. So they ate through a lot of those type of things, and I enjoy it, and I want to set them up for certain moments. So I have a routine. Everybody want to know a routine? Routine is after the kids go to sleep, I get on my computer, I load up the A-Team, I watch 2 or 3 episodes of A-Team, I'll play some Call of Duty, I'll watch 2 or 3 episodes of G.I. Joe Season 2, take it back, and then I go to sleep. And that's it. And so I want to have it fit in that little window there, and just a little bit every night, just a little bit. I don't want to rush through it. And I'll do that with multiplayer. So if I could run and talk about multiplayer and all that stuff, but when it comes to the campaign, when it's this good, where it's scratching at it, it's fulfilling, it's taking me back to a special place than I wanted in my special place in my time. And I want to dedicate the time to it. Because as you know, Tony, we talked about this, one of the things when you're reviewing games, and especially some games that you want to get that review out on time when it's still hot, is you don't really get to enjoy it. You're flying through it. You want to get to point A to point B, point C, and then done. And then when you decide you do want to play back, you're like, fuck, I got other shit to do. I don't have time to go back and enjoy that and do that. It's like, oh, and I hate that feeling.
Yeah, no, when you, play, again, people, not to sidetrack too much, but people always go, oh man, you get to review games a lot. That's awesome. No, it kind of sucks sometimes because you got to rush through the game. You're not playing the game as like normal people would. And I'll kind of tie this back into what I've been playing lately. Very interesting stuff. But yeah, man, that's great. Adam, when it comes to what games we're playing, you never let me down, man. You never let me down.
I play a lot.
Yeah. Manny, what about you? What have you been playing lately before you were hanging out with me for the past couple of days?
Well, I did before I came to hang out. I actually went and finished off the Astrobot like speedrun level. So I got the Eve one, and then I got one of those. They're not Hellgas. What are they? Those things from what game was that? Helldivers? Yeah, it's like one of the Helldivers. There's at least 4 of like Helldivers that you get. Oh, and then I got that, and then I got the what's his face? The guy from, I think it's called Rise of the Ronin, where the guy, he has the kite and everything. Yeah, so I got those 3 characters in Astrobot. It was fun. Those new DLC levels are all done like on a sort of like a weekly sort of thing. So yeah, there was that, and then I played a little bit of Hi-Fi Rush. I'm trying to get the platinum in it. Right now I have the beat the game on Rhythm Master mode, where you essentially have to go through every single level, and then you have to get a S rank. But the way Rhythm Master mode works is if your rhythm goes your rhythm gauge, which is that little thing that's in the top right, goes down below C, you die instantly, and then you have to start the whole level again. So there's a little bit of a challenge there. So I've already gone. I'm like halfway through the game. I have to get to Corsica and beat her and do that stuff. But yeah, that's what I've been doing now. Funny enough, my girlfriend's been actually bugging me to go play Stellar Blade. She really likes the music in that game. So
nice. Brian, what have you been playing lately?
I've actually been playing quite a few games.
Ooh, let's go. No, Brian, it's like you used to be.
Technically, it is a few, because that's actually the definition of a few. So yeah, I'm right. So first, I actually played a little game called Tunic the other day.
Oh, nice.
I know. Yeah, it was free on PSN Plus, so I thought, you know what, let me check it out and have a look-see. So I played it, and eventually I got the platinum. So yeah, if you haven't played it, you definitely should. If you love Zelda and or Souls, it's definitely a lovely homage to those games. So it's definitely worth it, and it's free now, so go get it. And then from there was like a nice, another indie game that came out that probably no one's heard of, called Monster Hunter Wilds.
We're gonna talk about that.
So yeah, I played the crap out of that beta, and in actuality, I'm playing the PC one just now.
Nice.
So I'm having to
Nice.
wow, it is really hard to talk and play at the same time. But hey,
You're playing now, aren't you?
yeah,
My
you
man.
can see it on Steam. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna run away since I can't focus. Yeah, it's really good. I love the changes that they've made. Because at first I was
Brian, hold up.
bit unsure.
Brian, I'm sorry, I gotta stop you. I just saw this on Twitter. This is posted 11:16. It's what time is it over here? 12.
12.
So 45 minutes ago, roughly. Currently 364,000 people in Monster Hunter Wilds on Steam, and Brian, you are one of them.
Oh, Tony, you kind of stole my thunder because
Yeah.
I wanted to point out that there was a beta of a game that came out that only had a few thousand people, and then there's a beta of another game that came out that has hundreds of thousands of people. Just to point that out.
Well, can I? I don't know if my Steam is acting up, but it says right now
It's probably more.
454,857 current players,
Yeah, remember the number I gave you was 45 minutes ago, so I could believe that.
and Brian is one of them.
Yeah, Brian. Yeah, this is crazy, Brian. So this game has hundreds of thousands of people playing. Meanwhile, a certain game called Concord had hundreds of people playing, or hundreds of people.
Okay, I just need the numbers. Yeah, there are 10 times more people playing this beta than Veilguard.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I was about
10
to say.
times more people.
Yeah, what
That's
happened?
a lot.
Yeah,
And it's currently the second highest played game on Steam at this moment. It's less than 70,000 less than Counter-Strike 2.
that's crazy.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm be playing that. Played again on PlayStation. Played it on PC. If you're playing it on PlayStation, please, because I made this mistake and the game looked like ass. If your TV supports higher frame rates, please turn off the option to disable 120 hertz and then restart your game.
Oh,
Or else the
put us
game
on,
looks
bro.
really bad.
Put us
And
on, Brian.
'cause-
Put us on, because we had the same issue.
Yeah, I was so confused for like the first 2 days. I was like, this game doesn't look anything like how it does in like the preview stuff. I was like, this isn't a good look. I'm kind of getting a bit scared. And then I turned off that mode and then rebooted the game, and it looks a lot better. So I'm guessing the resolution must be far less. So yeah, turn off 120 hertz if you really don't care, and plus I think it's worth it. And yeah, that's about it. Just enjoyed. I've been having great fun. I love the music of. I don't know if you guys fought Ray Dow yet, the Thunder Dragon.
No, but I've seen that motherfucker.
The music and the fight is good. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know how they do it, but somehow they manage to like keep that same level in the sequel, and this is just the beta. So if they keep that same level in the full game, yeah, this game, I don't know, GTA 6 may have some competition.
Yeah. By the way, so the post I read from was, Wario 64, and I'm not lying. Half the comments are making fun of Dragon Age compared to Monster Hunter. They're like a proper character creator. Oh man. Oh, this is gonna be huge. This is gonna be it's huge. It's gonna be huge.
it's gonna be huge.
Huge. You know what, Brian? Since you set it off, Carlos, Chris, we got to talk about it, bro. Monster Hunter Wilds. It started again. We jumped back into it, and it felt like the old days, man. It really did. We jumped in there.
It even took us an hour to play with each other.
It really did. Because Japanese games don't want you to play with other people, so it took a hot minute. But shout out to J Boy Jeeks. He helped us out.
Yeah, he did.
Like, hey, yo, want to play together? This is what you do, man. You go into your settings, and then you hit the last confirm. I came up here and broke it down. Yo, you send me the invite. It was great, man. It got reborn again. Carlos was doing his hammer spins and shit.
Yo, man, Had to. It's man, like it's crazy just how satisfying the game feels when you play it. Like it's just pure fun, man. I'm glad we got to play, but man, we have a lot more to do before this beta ends.
Yeah, we got to get in there. So
Well, they made some fantastic enhancements. I mean, the fact that you can use the whetstone while moving.
Yes.
Remember, you used to have to wait and stop and sharpen your shit. Now you can hop on your.
what?
I know it's not a chocobo, but that's what I'm
Brian's like,
gonna call it.
excuse me.
I think meant on foot. I was about to say, like, you can do it on foot. Like, Jesus, amazing.
No. When you're riding around on your little raptor guy,
Yeah.
you could do it.
Yeah, you could sharpen while riding.
Also, when you're riding your lizard chocobo, you can just press forward and that thing will take you to wherever you're supposed to go. I'm like,
It has auto tracking. It just runs where you need to go. That's
Excuse me? Yeah, that's
fantastic.
great. Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, we got to get it in, man. Maybe tomorrow night we'll go back in there, you know? Yeah, because, again, we got to fight those other motherfuckers that we haven't fought yet, you know? Y'all fought. Yo, J-Boy, man, he was looking it up. No, but it felt like the good old days. So much like the good old days, like, because remember, sometimes we would take, like, some time off in between, like, patches and updates and shit. So I was back into, how do I use this fucking weapon again? You know, because my ass, I used the fucking charge blade, which is the most complex weapon in the game. So I'm always like, wait, how do I do shit again? And I'm like, how to get my super move? How to get my super move? So good, and it feels so smooth. You know, it felt like the good old days, man. We are so back. I can't wait. You know, give me this fucking game. So yeah, we'll try to we're gonna play again, and hopefully we can maybe stream. You know. Yeah, I gotta talk about that. Thank you, Reggie. Yo, you could equip 2 fucking weapons now, man.
Yeah.
You know?
that's nuts.
So for a secondary weapon, I had the longsword, and I remember I accidentally switched. I'm like, how the fuck did I use this shit? You know? But I like the fact it's there. You know? So I gotta, I gotta really think, what do I really want my secondary weapon to be? But man, Monster Hunter, let's fucking go. Look at this shit right now. But how many did you say Carlos was playing? Like 450,000 people?
That's nuts. Yeah.
450. Last I checked.
You know, this ain't gonna be a Concord situation. I'll tell you that. You know,
And that's pretty solid netcode that the beta's holding up.
Yeah.
That level of traffic.
And the cool thing is, like, the hubs are, like, once you get the hang of it, it's cool that you get to see all the people that are in your lobby, and you can run around and stuff like that. Yeah, man. Even though it's still kind of complicated to get to play with your friends, it feels like once you get it, it works.
Yeah.
Okay, couple questions for you guys.
Go ahead, brother.
Number one, somebody who's definitely going to play this. Should I even play the demo or going blind?
Yes, play it.
Oh yeah, jump on the beta now. Yeah,
jump on it.
Okay.
Brett, hold on. I have a question for you. Are you playing anything else worthwhile?
Yeah, I mean,
Doesn't matter. Do you play Monster Hunter?
I'm sure I can find a way.
Yeah. Oh, give me this game. Yeah, Brett, you got to play it, bro. So
I mean, nothing transfers over, right?
Your character that you make in this demo, you could transfer over to the main game.
Oh, okay, cool.
Fashion Souls.
Fashion Souls, you know.
That's right.
Fashion Hunter.
Is it, I'm assuming still it's still 5 players or 4?
It's four still, yeah.
4. Okay.
Yeah, so we got plenty of room there, man. And Brett, crossplay, so buy it on whatever platform you want.
Yeah, you can buy it on your Xbox.
Oh yeah. I'm probably gonna do that.
Yeah, Brian. After I get off, we end the show. I'm probably gonna try that mode you just told me about. Turn that 120 hertz shit off. You know, because I did try. I switched it over to fidelity, even though the frame rate wasn't as good. It looked better. You know. Maybe it will look even better if I have it on fidelity mode and with the 120 hertz off, or does it automatically get okay? Let's go.
I think it's just one of those weird things where it's just on by default, and if you don't notice it, then you don't see it. Because again, I was so confused for like the first 2 days. I'm like, it doesn't look this good. Like, what's wrong with my game?
Yeah, no, it wasn't just you. Even again, Manny's been hanging out here. We were both like, yo, what's up with this game right now, bro? You know, like RE Engine, what are you doing? But Yeah, oh, so good, so good. So yeah, that's what I've been playing lately. And then obviously, before that, and Adam, I don't know if you know this, man. When Marvel vs. Capcom came out, the collection, bro, that got me right back into fighting games, man. Hardcore. I got back into Street Fighter 6. I cleared out every single mission in the World Tour mode. Went online, whipping motherfuckers' asses and getting my ass whipped too. Nice little, balance there. And
did you build your character?
I did that. I did that already. But there was a few things in the open world I didn't finish, so I finished all of that. I'm like, damn, now I'm done. And then go ahead.
No, the one game that from that collection that I spent all my time and finished was The Punisher. I was just thrilled to use run around and start shooting.
Oh yeah, the collection,
shit. Yeah, they put them in the collection.
Yeah, and also I got the platinum, Adam, the collection. But yeah, that opened me up to other fighting games. Man, and Adam, there's like in the '90s, that was my genre. So and tying it back to what we were talking about before.
Wanna take me for a ride?
Didn't fuck that bullshit. I still don't like that song, man. I still don't like that song. But going back to what you said,
it does, but it just sticks in your head.
I know that's the problem, But no, going back to what you were talking about before, like when I'm playing this shit and the feelings I was having, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember what it felt like to be a gamer. Because I'm just playing for fun, not playing for fucking review, not playing for whatever. It was just great, and that even opened up the other door. So I started playing some fucking Tekken, been having fun with that. King of Fighters.
Did you play the new? I didn't even play the new Tekken.
No, I played I'm playing Tekken 7 because check this out. So the collector's edition, which normally $120, it was on sale for $20. I'm like, fuck it, let's go. So I've been getting, familiar with Tekken. I bought Virtua Fighter, which I love me some Virtua Fighter, obviously. I've been getting open, man, like fighting games right now.
I was pissed, unless I don't have that bundle, but they didn't add Super Cop.
Yeah.
Remember Super Cop? And he was one of my favorite characters because he would just lay down. Yeah. Get up and do the jump. It was almost like a drunken master type of thing. It was really cool.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I've been having a blast just playing fighting games. And right now, Monster Hunter. So it's a good time playing games, man. Good time playing games, So Brett, what have you been playing lately, man?
Let's see. Playing Valheim, they just released the Bug Witch update.
Nice.
So there's been a bunch of new content. I've been playing that. Also started up some Pillars of Eternity because I wanted some classic CRPG, something to scratch that itch.
Wait, you said CRPG?
Yeah, computer RPG.
Oh, that's what that's. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like it's like Baldur's Gate.
Old school, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying that. There's also, I know there's a sequel, Pillars of Eternity: Deadfire, which is also really highly regarded, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna play some Monster Hunter.
Yeah, let's go.
Later this weekend.
Yeah, that's gonna. Oh man, we should try to link up somehow because it's crossplay, Brett. So
Yeah. If you guys got time. Problem is being it is a thing I've noticed. When you get a big crew like this, sometimes the 4-player party limit can be a little frustrating. So.
Yeah, we made it work last time because there was more than 4 of us playing that game. We somehow made it work.
Groups.
Well, we don't need sweet bread in the party anymore.
You got some guys from Korea. I remember you talking about.
We're playing with the Japanese guys. Yeah,
it's the Japanese, and they were just tearing shit up.
Oh yeah, and then my cousin, the voice of God, you got to get him in there.
He plays it.
Oh yeah. Yo, Adam, I'll tell you this story because you probably don't. I don't think I told you the story. So there was one time where he got on to play the game, and he wanted to be some hard boss, so he hooked up with some Japanese guys, as you're supposed to, right? But he must have gotten into a room with kids and shit, Japanese kids, because he lost. So he's just yelling. Remember with that deep voice, like, "Yo, man, you're supposed to be natural born kaiju hunters. What the fuck?" Yo, my cousin's voice is so deep you don't even hear him; you just feel him.
Damn, I can see the parents on the other side. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh, they're pedophile.
Disconnect.
I'll never forget when he rage quit Division.
Division.
When they nerfed the stuff.
Yo, Adam, you were there for that shit.
I remember.
Yo,
I
that's
remember.
so
we
mad.
We were in Washington. We were in
Yep.
that little area, and he's like, "Yo, they just dropped my stat. Yo, where my gig? I'm out. I'm done."
Yeah.
And
Fuck this shit. Yeah, he was gone. Yep.
He was gone.
And he never came back. He never came back to the game.
Crazy.
Yeah, because they fucking
You know
nerfed
who-
his character.
Shit, you know who never came back to that game too? Ubisoft.
Oh, man. All right, good stuff. Anything else, Brett?
Nope.
All right. Next up, we got Mr. Chris. What have you been playing lately besides Monster Hunter? But if you want to talk more about Monster Hunter, I'm not going to stop you.
Oh no, that's been a fantastic experience. I haven't made time to really play anything else this week. It was just playing with you guys. That was
Yeah.
great. I wish they just because it's a beta, just let you get into the network play a little faster.
Yeah.
Like rescuing that kid, I was like looking for him. I'm like, fuck, I can't start anything until I find this kid and like fight this fucking frog. Nah, I was like, all right. And then after that, and then we joined up. But yo, it felt great. I need to get my sea legs back
Yeah.
proverbially because like I forgot my ghillie suit and like how to put but
Yeah.
other stuff just came back, and Carlos made me a hammer convert, so I used to rock a gun lance and so I switched to hammer. But now you could dual wield. I'm definitely gonna do both.
Nice.
Awesome.
Why not?
Why not both? Last but certainly not least, Mr. Richard Bailey Jr. What have you been playing lately that you're allowed to talk about?
Yeah, that I'm allowed to talk about.
Yes.
Okay, well, so still playing some Romancing Saga 2. I did review that on the website last week. I have been spending a lot of time with, I want to say, Carlos and Chris's most anticipated game of the year. It's this nice little indie game called Horizon Zero Dawn Remaster.
Ah.
Yeah, and I believe I could talk about that because the game is out now.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, I think they did a good job as far as a remaster is concerned. It looks a lot better than the previous game, but I still don't think this remaster was necessary. Obviously, Sony said that they didn't really have any major games that they were going to be dropping until next year, so I understand they wanted to keep people busy. I'm not quite sure how this game plays on other platforms, more advanced platforms, I'll say.
Yeah, like the
So,
Xbox
after-
Series X, right?
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yes. But I mean, listen, it's a great game. I didn't get a chance to play the original until much, much later. And then I was like, yeah, this is a really good game. It's a great new IP. So I'm happy for Guerrilla. I know, obviously, they're not making any more Killzone games. They made that very clear when they was
Yeah.
asked about that recently. So it's a great game. I recommend people check it out. Aside from that, I have also been playing Until Dawn, another game that,
Oh my god.
yeah, another remake that wasn't necessary. And
Adam's
There-
getting flashbacks from the war.
yeah,
Oh man,
The-
he went hard on that one too. I think you went and got the platinum. Because remember,
I
we were
did.
trying. We were going back and forth on it, and I got some fucked up endings. I could never get the perfect one, and you eventually got all of them because there was a few of those endings. I think I couldn't save all the guys. I saved all the girls. I couldn't save all the guys.
well, I unfortunately did not have access to that cloud save, so I'm not going to get the platinum on this one. But yeah, it's still an okay game. You know, I want to see what Supermassive does next. Obviously, they have that directive game coming out next year. That should be interesting.
But was it that
Um,
one that I just reviewed that they did? The
Casting
man.
of Frank
Yeah,
Stone.
the casting of Frank Stone. Now they're guns for hire because that was that was a partnership that they got hired by. Oh my god, it's been so long already. The scary game where you're a serial killer and you're hunting people down.
Dead by Daylight.
Dead by
Manhunt?
Daylight. They're Dead
Oh,
by
Dead by
Daylight. So Dead by Daylight
Yeah.
hired Supermassive to make a game within their universe. And I played that, and it was all right. It felt just like that. It's got that whole permadeath type of thing. You can't just rage quit and everybody comes back to life when you come back. No. So, but I think that's what they're going to be doing. and it seems to work for them. But we'll see.
They're still doing
Yeah.
the Dark Pictures anthology stuff, right?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know because they finished up. The last one they did was the one that had the Devil Within. I think it was called, or Inside, or something like that. It was with that house.
The H.H.
And-
Holmes house.
Yep,
Yeah.
the H.H. Holmes house, and then they did was it the Quarry, right?
The Quarry,
Yeah.
yeah.
The Quarry, right? They
Played
did
that.
that one. Yep, and then now that one that we just talked about. So they're still doing their thing. People still play them. Great narrative type games, you know. I love the artwork, but yeah. So Until Dawn didn't need a remaster or anything. They didn't change anything, but it does have one superstar, right? Because now everybody knows that dude. That was Mr. Robot, and he also did from Queen, the Queen documentary. He's a big name actor now.
Yes, yes.
Rami Malek or
Yeah,
something.
Rami
like
Malek.
There you
Rami
go.
Malek. Yeah, Rami Malek.
he's in
And
the
there you go.
Pacific.
He was in Pacific. Yeah, he was also main character in Until Dawn. So there you go.
Yeah, So the game is okay. It's definitely not something that was needed, and we did not need a remake of that. But it is what it is. So if you are curious, check it out. And two last things I will say. I did download the beta for Monster Hunter Wilds. Obviously haven't had a chance to play it yet, but hey, we'll see if that changes this weekend. But last thing I will say, accountability room. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I want to say this on the air now, so if I fall short, you can roast me next week. Adam and Carlos, we must return to Warhammer this weekend because I need to see why this game is in so many conversations about Game of the Year. So we need to continue.
They're
playing
smoking
that.
a crack rock because you know what? These people were also the same ones that are saying this is the Gears killer. There's no cover base system, and that was the main thing of Gears and the roadie run. No
Roadie run.
There's no roadie run in it. Yeah, a big mech-looking dude running around, and yeah, you got a chainsaw sword, but it's not like that. And then they just waves and waves of aliens and creatures coming at you. Remember, this is the same team that developed the World War Z games. So yeah, it looks great and all, but it's not on that level. I mean, we had fun, and then we got stuck at one part, and it was one of those routine type of games. Oh, defend this, all this. Oh, now run over here and defend that, and then run over here and defend that. And we did that for, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes before we were like, all right, we'll come back to this another day. So it's fun, and it's great to, jump with your buddies. We love those type of games, but I can't put that on Game of the Year. I'm sorry. We'll keep going. We'll get further. We put a few hours last time, so yeah, why not? Let's just run through it and see if it really changes. I've yet to play a game in my life that really switched the script halfway through. I'm like, yo, what the hell am I playing? Everything changed. I feel like the only time I that comes fresh in my mind, Last of Us Part 2, when you switch to, G.I. Jane in the second part. I'm like, whoa, yo, I didn't see that coming. But no, unless something like that happens in this game, I can't. No.
That's funny, man. All right, Rich, anything else?
Oh no, that's all I can talk about for now.
Yeah, there you go. And we will talk about many more things later. Like I said, if you saw my tweet, you know what's up. All right, man, let's start wrapping it up. Rich, what's going on with the coalition, man?
Well, first and foremost, this upcoming weekend, ladies and gentlemen, the season finale of the Daryl Dixon Show.
The Book of Carol.
Yeah, you mean
what a whack name. Every time I hear it, I'm like, why they do that?
I don't know why you're saying that, Adam. I thought that was your favorite show. What's up with that?
No, we like the show. The
show
is good. It's the Book of Carol, the add-on to this, as if it's all about her, which it is not. So it's funny. Mm-hmm.
I agree 100%, and we know why it is called the Book of Carol, because she lies a lot in this entire season.
Yeah, damn right she lies. She is a liar. They should have had Henry Rollins pop up and like, you're taking a page out of my book, because you're a liar. Oh, she lies a lot. But yeah, we're gonna be covering that. This is it. It's funny too because it's only 6 episodes each season. So people that have not followed any of these spin-offs are probably like, what do you mean you're at the end? There should be like another 10 or 15. All these spin-offs are only 6 episode seasons. So They're short, very short.
Absolutely. So stay tuned for that. I Am Negan podcast. We'll be recording that episode sometime on Sunday. As for the other coalition stuff, there's a couple of things we're working on. Some more reviews will be coming, and we can't really talk about yet. But stay tuned.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, Adam, I want to give you a shout out for being on. Always good times. Talk about them video games. Probably have you back on before the end of the year. Talk about the wrap up and all that good stuff.
And see which ones are on our game of the year. Spoiler: I'm not putting out freaking Warhammer. I'm sorry.
That's it.
I'll put it as an honorable mention, but I just can't. To me,
it ain't Gears. It ain't Gears.
No, it's not Gears, and yeah, we didn't get another Gears, and that's a disappointment. Also, there's another year with no Gears. But for me, it should be for anybody. Game of the year should be something that you picked up and you couldn't put down.
Yeah,
you're like, I have to keep playing. Holy shit, this is pulling me in. When you're not playing it, you're dreaming about it. When you're not dreaming about it, you're thinking about it. And no, we said we stopped. I put on A-Team, and now it's
the A-Team.
Like, That's it. I'm old.
That's it, man. All right, people, we're done here. So make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Follow us on YouTube and join the Discord where the conversations and the rumors always popping. And of course, follow us on your favorite podcast app. Links to everything down below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Adam Vale.
Have a good week, everybody.
Brett Murdoch.
Deuces.
Richard Bailey Jr.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
And Brian Manjoma.
I'm so happy that we have a second game that's focused around killing dragons this year.
Yes, a real one with a better character creator.
Yeah, there's Dragon Age Veilguard as well. Sorry.
Yeah,
so then still 2 games that focuses on killing dragons this year.
Yeah, shout out to Dio, man, in the chat room right now. All right, guys, we'll see you on Sunday. Later.